The Good Buddies Anime Podcast is hosted by two rowdy, foul-mouthed American cowboys. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Good Buddies, what's up? Welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Show. I am your good buddy, Roger.
And I am your good buddy, Brandon.
And damn, we're doing it for the second time. I'm pretty stoked.
It's that time again already, kids.
Everybody seemed to like it when we did the first time.
All right.
And they also love to tell Brandon how he was wrong about Vivi.
Tell me all about how wrong I am about these, because I promise you will have some opinions that I did not share.
All right. Well, you know, I don't have any opinions really, except for about one of these shows
You've watched literally one of the shows on this list, right? It's
okay. Let's rank, dude.
Let's get to
Power
the shit.
ranking.
Let's get to the shit. We'll talk about that later. Love you, baby. So we are doing our tier list again. It's summer 2021.
I'm circling it.
You're circling it. You see what it is. Now, real quick, we are going to have at the end of this a little soul read, because it is currently July 16th as we're recording. 4 of these shows have not aired yet, either because they are coming in a coming week, or they are to be determined when they're going to air. One of them, I think, is ending at the very end of the month, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Point is, we will get to those ones at the end. Right now, we're going to start ranking these suckers. We got a tippity top at S rank. We got an F, which is the absolute trash garbage. We usually say D is, you know, maybe not the worst, but it is boring as hell.
It's a cliffhanger.
No, C is cliffhangers.
This is snoozing at the lodge.
No, F is straight up trash.
Trash.
All right, let's go down the list. You got F, which is the absolute trash. That's the glacial chasm. It's in the garbage. Oh. We got D, snoozing at the lodge.
There we go. Yeah.
Taking a sleep. It's pretty boring. C, cliffhangers. They're not the worst, but you could do better. B and A, they're doing just fine. You know, we can split them up a little bit to give a little bit of difference there. And then S is our tippityest, toppiest at the top of the tippity mountain. So, without further ado, we have talked for too long. Let's get to the ranking. Roger, pick a show.
Let's start with the very first one here. Drugstore in Another World.
Drugstore in Another World. So it actually has a much longer title. Drugstore in Another World, the slow life of a cheat pharmacist. Now, of course, Roger has watched one of these. I have watched at least one episode of every one of these, and these are my opinions. And they are my opinions and my opinions alone, which means, of course, your miles may vary. But since it's a tier list, I am correct and you are wrong. Here we go. Drugstore in Another World is one of like 5 different super standard ass isekais this season, and it's fine. It's a cute enough show. It's about a dude who makes potions and whatnot. He got isekai. They haven't said how in the first episode. It's okay. I don't love that the first episode features him assisting a dude with his crazy girlfriend.
Well, is she crazy?
I mean, the dude's no fucking catch himself, so at least they have the decency to say he's shitty too, but they're both a little bit crazy. And the thing I really don't love is that the pharmacist's pet dog transforms into a lolly dog girl who runs around calling him master, master. Don't love that. And it's not the only animal this season that turns into some kind of girl who then calls the person master, master. We'll get to it. But the show is cute enough. It's got some decent slapstick. You could do worse. I'm gonna drop that one. Of the isekais this season, it's a C. You could do, well, you know what? Actually, put it in B. Put it in B.
Put it in B, okay.
Put it in B. Because of the isekais this season, it's one of the least offensive, I'll say.
Okay.
Which is not to say any of them are terrible. We'll get to the terrible shows eventually. Why don't you go ahead and pick us out another one, baby?
Let's do Getter Robo R.
Getter Robo.
So Getter Robo is an old anime too.
It is a classic one, and here's the thing: I admittedly don't know jack shit about Getter the series, other than it's been around forever and it's an absolute staple of super fighting robot media. That being the case, I watched this, I formed my opinion, and then I threw it over to the Reddits and chat rooms and stuff to see what they thought about it, because there's a lot of people who know more about this than me, and most of them thought it was kind of wild and pretty cool that we're still getting Getter content in 2021. But like myself, they thought a lot of them agreed that the animation was a bit lacking. It's fine. It's a little boring. It's got a kick-ass outro. I'll say that. The outro is like a bunch of panels from the manga and this rad-ass song that's like, until the dying day, and it kicks ass. The show itself was pretty meh. I'll put it in C.
Put it in C. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll put it in C.
Okay.
What's next?
Girlfriend.
Here's the thing. Is, guys, if you've listened to more than 2 episodes of this podcast and or watched us on YouTube, there's 2 things you know about me. Is that I'm not really into the Ichi stuff. I don't much care for fan service. It's just not my bag.
Man, I like that stuff.
I know you do, but it's not for me, and it's my tier list.
Okay.
Now, bearing that in mind, Roger.
Okay.
I'm as shocked as anyone to say I fucking love this show.
Okay.
This show kicks ass. Put in an A. This show kicks ass. So here's the thing. Dude has a girlfriend. He loves her. He's head over heels. He can't believe his good fortune. Another girl, however, confesses her love to him, and she's just the goodest good girl. Oh, she's so good that he can't turn her away, no matter how much he wants to and knows he should. And so, instead of what I thought was going to happen, I thought this was going to be, oh, he's going to 2-time him. It's going to be like a bad episode of Three's Company. It turns out to be like the most badass episode of Three's Company, because he's like, I've got an idea. And he takes this new girl, goes to his girlfriend and says, hey, we got to talk. And his girlfriend's like, I don't even know this girl. I'm not going to talk. I don't even know her. Let's hang out for a little bit. And so they hang out. They get lunch. They hang out. She's like, oh, man, she's really cool. I like her a lot. He's like, cool. I want to date both of y'all. And she's like, no. And then they kind of just talk about it for a while, and then they all move in together. Yeah. So this whole freaking show.
So is this polyamory?
It kind of
or
is.
Is it polygamy?
So here's the thing. They're kind of
is my guy gonna be a cult leader?
Here's the thing. They're kind of doing the polyamory thing, and that's what I think works about it, because the thing that really makes this work is that, 1, they're all fucking idiots, but 2, they're incredibly sincere idiots, and they actually communicate, which is key in any relationship, particularly if you're going to be dating multiple people and or each other. If there's going to be a love triangle situation with y'all being attracted to each other, you got to talk about that shit so there's trust in everything, and by God, they actually talk to each other, and it works. I compare it to other shows like, for example, don't shit on me here, what was it, Rent-A-Girlfriend? That was a show where they were pretending to be a relationship, and she wasn't comfortable with that, and he said, okay, we'll break it off after this, and then he never did because he liked it. He kept saying one thing and doing something else. That's bad communication and a shitty dude. Sorry if you like that show. You can have your opinions, fine. This one, they actually just talk to each other, and it works. Now, it does do a little bit of that shitty thing where, like, homegirl's like, even I'm attracted to her, and I'm a girl, and it's like, well, that's heteronormativity, normativity, whatever. You can be attracted to a lady too. That's how attraction works. It's fine. You don't have to quantify.
You be attracted to a cartoon if you want to. I find cartoons hot all the time.
Yeah, man. You make your pee-pee horn. But point is, they're as sincere and likable and charming as they are stupid, and that's why the show works, and I fucking love it. Now, I will say, this one's probably going to end up turning sour for me eventually, because from the intro and outro, sure as hell looks like they're going to add 2 more girls, and it's just going to turn into a harem thing, and I don't really trust it. But on that first episode, and I'll admit I watched the second one already, I like it a lot. It's an A. Girlfriend kind of kicks ass.
Okay.
And I'm as shocked as anyone that I feel that way. What's next?
Mother of the Goddess Dormitory.
How dare you do this to me? How dare you do this to me?
How dare I do?
So
okay,
here's
so
the
my
thing.
good buddy Clayton is into this show.
All right, so here's the thing.
And he is the weebiest of weebs.
First of all, there is an uncensored version and a regular version.
That's
the uncensored version. They're both on Hyundai and Verve. And me and my girlfriend did watch the uncensored version.
Okay.
Because I'll just say it here. She watched and rather enjoyed a show that I hated previously called Interspecies Reviewers, and I thought, well, maybe she'll like this one too because it's horny. We both did not much care for it. Let me tell you about this show.
Okay.
It's an I'll make this as nice as I can. It's an Ichi Fun Time ride where a homeless dude ends up inexplicably being hired as the quote-unquote dorm mother of a bunch of hot, big titty college girls. Oh, yeah.
Sounding good so far.
Oh, yeah, and you see some nipplies.
Really pitch it to me, dude.
Ooh, so hot. Oh, they got big old titties.
Pitch it to me. Oh,
so
yeah.
It's called the Goddesses Dormitory. They don't appear to be actual goddesses or anything. They're just college girls, but they all are named after goddesses, kind of. Like one of them's Athena, which is almost Athena, and one of them is almost Minerva, and one of them is straight up Frey, which is almost Freya. Here's the thing, that dude who got the job, who's like cleaning up, take care of them, and like one of the girls is straight up, oh, okay, we gonna fuck, and then they almost fuck, is 12.
Do what now?
He's 12 years old. Yeah, and now, look, I'll say it. I'll say it, this is my fault. This is my fault, because you know what I said before, I've said this before, is if we're gonna do one of these sex comedies, one of these Ichi Fun Fests, it would really be nice if at least they were adult women. If they were like 18, 19, 20. Some of these girls, I think one of them's like 22 years old. That's great, they're adult women. And somewhere a monkey's paw heard me say that and shriveled up one of its crinkled fingers and said, oh, you want adult women? What if they all wanna fuck a young boy? Put it in F, it's absolute garbage, I hate it. And we're done with that one.
He is absolutely 12.
He's absolutely 12.
Confirmed.
He is homeless because his house burned down and his shitty dad was like, that sucks to suck. And he just moves out and leaves. And the kid's just homeless now and begging for food on the streets. And then one big titty hot girl is like, oh, you poor thing, and takes him home and is like, we'll give you a job and a place to stay. Also, I'm not going to wear clothes most of the time, except for this lab coat, which is barely covering my giant boobies. I hate this show. Show sucks.
So, and one of them,
look, if you
they try to bonk right away.
One of them absolutely almost fucks this kid. Absolutely almost has sex with this kid. Yes.
Okay.
Look, if you really want to see some anime titties and you haven't figured out how to turn off safe search and just Google
well, let me
them,
tell you about Domestic Girlfriend.
Yeah, go check out Domestic Girlfriend. It's better than this. I would much rather watch Domestic Girlfriend than this show. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. Pick another one, baby.
Okay. Let's go with what does it say?
Kageki Shoujo.
Okay.
So Kageki Shoujo, which I believe, and everyone out there, feel free to correct me on this if I'm wrong, translates to opera girl. I like this show a bunch. Shocking, I know. So here's the thing. It revolves around Coca Review, which is based on the Takarazuka Review, which you may remember them as the theater troupe of all ladies who do all the cool plays and stuff, and they have, like, you know, ladies play the male roles even, it's a whole thing, and etc, etc. Goes way back in, like, the culture and stuff. It's an all-female musical troupe based on that, called Coca in this show. Has a very selective school, very selective training center, and two girls show up having made it through the rigorous and very, very strict selection process and are immediately ostracized by the other entrants. One of them for being an Ice Queen former idol who was forced to graduate early from her group, and because she called a male fan creepy, which, by the way, seems like she's actually got a stalker in this show, so be warned if that bothers you. And the other one is ostracized for being a too tall, too happy, too damn loud ray of too bright sunshine. And both of them get ostracized for standing underneath a cherry tree, which is bad luck, apparently. Point is, you got this little girl who's like real angry, I feel nothing at all type. And you've got the very, very tall, she's like 5'11", but that's very tall. She towers over everyone else. And they are basically, tall girl wants to be friends, idle girl is very annoyed, and they're roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. And that's the show. It's very fun, it's very funny. I laughed out loud several times at this. There's a bit at the in episode 1, I think, where like this dude comes by to from the fucking army to teach them about like staying in sync and everything by having them march, and he's like talking to him, and like he has a moment where he tries to pat the idol girl on the shoulder and she moves out of the way, and he's like, you know, my daughter's the same way. It seems like man can't do anything without being accused of being sexist or something these days. I do apologize for that. And then he looks at the tall girl and goes, you're tall, and she goes, that's sexist. It's really funny. It's fucking hilarious. The show's great and I like it a lot. I'm gonna put it in A. It's an A.
Okay. You know, I don't know by that description if I put in A, but you know what?
You know,
not mine.
For me, I liked it a lot. It seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's got really pretty art. I'll say that. Watch you half an episode, see how that art hits.
Okay. Peach Boy Riverside.
Peach Boy Riverside. Just gonna shuffle through my notes. I got them in alphabetical order. All right. So Peach Boy Riverside is a show about a melon smuggling former princess who meets an adorably cartoonish bunny girl.
She smuggles melons?
Well, she's got big titties is what that means. It's one of those things where, you know how I feel about when they draw them so that, like, you know, if a lady with big breasts is wearing a top, it's like you can see the thing. You don't, what doesn't happen in real life is they don't, the top does not form around the titties so you can see literally every curve of them. That would involve the top being made so that it has socks for your boobs to go into. And that's what happens in this show. It just looks dumb. I hate it when they do that. They do it because they want to show off the titties, and it's like, okay, it just looks dumb. Anyway, I can't stop talking about titties this episode. I'm sorry.
Dude, you like what you like.
Calm down. So anyway, she runs across this very, very cute cartoon bunny girl, and then they fight demons.
Okay.
That's basically the show. The princess is apparently looking for some dude she met who could also slay demons, who is very powerful for a human. It is tangentially based upon the old Momotaro fable, which is, you may or may not know that one. There's this old couple, and the lady finds a peach floating in the river, and she opens it up, and there's a dude in there, and the boy's like, I'm your son now. And he's real strong and kills the demons that are plaguing the old couple. That's the fable. That's this. And the show is like, but what if there was more than one peach? And I guess that's her. It doesn't really make sense. It's kind of dumb. And it does this thing where it flips from being like really cute to having really heavy, like gory action to then being like really weirdly like they're walking through the market and homegirl sees someone selling octopus. And I don't know if it's a flashback or just her imagining it, but it suddenly just cuts to her being like attacked tentacle style, nude style by an octopus monster. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why'd they do that? I don't know. The show is fine, I guess, if you want to watch some, you know, demon killing. I mean, it ain't no Demon Slayer. It ain't no Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a C. I'm not going to call it straight up F. It's a C.
See it goes.
See it goes. What's next?
Let's go back to the start here. The detective is already dead.
Okay, so the detective is already dead.
This is sounding good.
This one is a double-length premiere wherein a very unlucky student is finagled into being the Watson to this super cute girl detective Sherlock. And after a couple mission mysteries and some slightly Ichi shenanigans, he agrees to be her sidekick. And then they time jump ahead to him being like, and then that was that, but now she's already dead. And that's the end of the episode. And I'm like, well, now hang on. You call the show The Detective is Already Dead. That's the mystery. You've introduced the mystery. So to then end the first episode on that same mystery is nothing. You've done nothing. Like, what was even the point? I don't know. I felt like that could have been done better, but whatever. But yeah, it's 47 minutes for like the same hook at the end. It's whatever. The animation is really good in the first fight scene, and then it kind of just dips down and is just okay for the rest of it. Like the first fight scene, watch the first 10 minutes of this one, and then you can probably click it off because it's pretty boring as hell after that. Okay. This is one of 2 double-length premieres this season, and they're both boring as fuck, quite frankly, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop it in D.
D?
That's a D for The Detective is Already Dead.
Boom.
Boom. There it is. Give it a D-bomb. Boom.
All right, man. Let's move up to how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
How a realist hero.
Wow, this sounds terrible already.
It is yet another Isekai. Yeah.
How would I ever have guessed?
Again, one of like 5 different very standard Isekai. So this one features a clever, if slightly boring, civil servant who is isekai'd to a typical fantasy kingdom. They do he didn't get killed by Truck-kun. This guy like was in the library reading Machiavelli, so you know he's smart, when he got slooped into another world because they summoned him. And the whole thing is, hey, we summoned you because...
That's a shield hero thing. That's what they did
That's
there.
the same thing as shit. Yeah. They do it in a lot of these. They get slooped in because they were summoned. But this guy, they're like, hey man, we needed a hero, not because we needed someone to save us. But
is sloop actually a word?
No.
Because I love it.
Okay, we'll start using it. Sloop, sloop. He got slooped in. Watch me swoos on in there. But yeah, they summon him and they're like, hey man, we needed a hero, not because we need you to save us, but because we owe the Empire a bunch of money, so we're gonna trade you.
A hero.
Yeah, they're gonna basically trade this dude to the Empire. And he's like, well, I don't like that. What if I help you raise the money? And it's literally, he's like training to be a civil servant, so he knows all about tax codes and like how to make money and shit for the fucking kingdom. So he does that, and then he just pays the Empire. And then by the end of the episode, the king's like, hey, I want you to be the king now. and it's honestly kind of boring, but it's not bad. It does have like a pretty cool Yu-Gi-Oh reference at the end for some reason. Like someone's like, why don't we do this? And he's like, you think that will work, but what about my trap card? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why did he do a Yu-Gi-Oh reference? It was weird. Like changes the animation and everything. It's kind of funny, but that's the only funny part. It's pretty boring otherwise. I'll put it in D. It's a D.
D? I like how we have an F right now.
Oh yeah.
Now it's somewhere between an F and an E.
Yeah. Calm down.
You can tell, dude. I'm a bit sleepy.
You're a bit sleepy. I'm sorry you're so sleepy.
Remain, dude.
Remain kicks ass. So here's the thing about Remain. Killer premiere. First of all, it is a sports anime, so you gotta deal with that. The first episode features basically no sports. It's just good. So let me just read my notes here. Water polo anime. Dude wakes up after a car wreck put him in a half-a-year coma. And he remembers nothing of the past 3 years of his life, the entirety of middle school. He's about to start high school now. Does not remember any of middle school.
This is the one with the turtle.
Yes. I showed you that picture. Now he's about to start high school, barely remembers middle school. He's facing down his past as a water polo superstar. This motherfucker went to nationals, the best at the sport in middle school. He remembers none of that. He's looking at a future where a bunch of folks want him to get back into the game he doesn't recall playing, and his present where his family is happy as well, but pretty traumatized by the wreck that put him down, plus a very mysterious hottie who he does not remember. Oh, but she remembers him.
Wow.
Ooh. This show absolutely kicks ass. Legit laugh out loud moments, like the polo captain in his new high school is named Joey Jojo. And it has some cute bits like his family's turtle mascot in the shop. And this is mostly just fun for me. We have a black dude who looks like a real ass human instead of a character, and a dad with a full beard, which you don't see too often. I mean, you get like a little Shinji, Shinji's dad has a little goatee. This guy got full on beard. It's kind of fun. I don't see a lot of either of those in anime, to be honest, and I really enjoyed this show, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's my first S.
Oh shit, son.
That's an S rank, baby. That show has a killer premiere. Really great first episode. What's next?
Let's see. Next, we're gonna talk about Remake Our Life.
Remake Our Life. Another double-length premiere. The year is 2016. Dude is having not a great life. He keeps losing his jobs, regrets not going to art school 10 years ago when he had the chance. And so he, looks at his old transcript when he was going to go to art school, puts it down, lays down to take a nap, and then wakes up and it's still 2016 and he gets a new job and hey, everything's going good. I finally get to work on this game. His boss is not that bad. And then everything falls apart. Oh, the game got canceled. Funding fell through. They just didn't have faith in the project. He goes back home dejected. He's so sad. He lays down, and then he wakes up 10 years ago and he just got accepted to art school and now he gets to redo it.
Some time travel.
It's another one of those. Honestly, this show is cute. It's okay. I was mostly pretty bored by it.
Okay.
It's a pretty heavy like slice of life kind of thing. Cute but boring. He ends up in a dorm room. Here's the thing. Here's the one part that I do want to bring up. Is he ends up in a dorm room with two girls and a guy, and he's the first one to get there, and he falls asleep in his room because he's so tired after moving all the shit in. And he wakes up, and there's this rando girl there who's like sleeping next to him in his little bedroll, and he's like, yo, what the fuck? And she wakes up and she goes, and she's barely awake, and she crawls toward him, and like, she's like not wearing a bra, oh, titty, and then she reaches over to him, grabs his yogurt that he had on the desk, chugs it, it splashes all over, and then she goes, yogurt, and then falls back asleep. And then later the dude the dude and the other girl bust in on him and are like, what the fuck? And then later he's like, hey, gave her the old milky splash, huh?
Can you explain to me what a milky splash is, Brandon?
I will not do that.
What is the milky splash?
I feel like you can use your imagination to figure it out.
Who gives the milky splash?
Who calls it a milky splash?
Have you given a milky splash?
We won't get into that. It's a D. It's kind of boring. Honestly, this is the boring show that has the most potential, I think, but it's pretty fucking boring.
You know what, dude? I'm giving an F for a milky splash.
Whoa, no, you're not.
Okay, let's see. Let's do Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus. These last three you did in alphabetical order. Look at you.
Wow.
Scarlet Nexus. This one showed up early on YouTube because they had to bump up the sales for that game that it's based on. Basically, this is a show about a bunch of weird flower monsters that are attacking humanity, and the psychic kids who all dress like Reaper from Overwatch. They're all in these red and black outfits, and it's, boy, this show's for gamers, I guess. They're here to stop them, and they all have different psychic powers. So in the game, apparently the game is pretty good. I listened to a podcast where they did a review of the game. Shout out to the besties, I guess. Little crossover. Besties, good buddies, whatever. But they talked about the game, and apparently it sounds pretty rad, like a action-y JRPG kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it just got a release on consoles.
Yeah. It came out a couple weeks ago, right after the show aired. That's why they bumped it up early on YouTube. But yeah, apparently in the show, it's like kind of the same thing. You got all these psychic powers, and the thing is you can combine the psychic powers and whatnot. So didn't see a lot of that in the first episode. You just saw these people with their psychic powers, and they fight the monsters, and that's fine. That's all right. It's all right. It's a C. It's all right.
See, do you think that it'd make a better video game than show?
For based on everything I've heard about it, the video game is better than the anime.
Okay.
So I'll say that. I kind of do want to play the video game.
I think that's kind of how it goes because I believe that's how everybody kind of took Persona 5.
Yeah, I get that. All
right, man. Let's do the Duke of Death and his maid.
The Duke of Death and his maid is one that I was kind of hyped for. It just looked really cool to me. Basically, you've got a noble boy who's been cursed by a witch. Anything he touches dies. He touches a flower, it wilts within his hands. You see a little flashback where he did not touch it, but a bird apparently touched him, and the bird died. Oh, how very sad. Shit like that. So, fearing for their own lives and the safety of everyone around them, his parents send them off to their villa in the woods where he lives all alone, except for his big titty maid. And the big titty maid is so horny for him. She is like literally in the first 5 minutes, like she'll be like, "Hey Duke, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, hey man, what's up?" And he's all nervous because he doesn't want to touch anything. And she just like lifts up her skirt. Check this out.
I love it.
So here's the thing. It is CG. The CG is not great. The backgrounds do have this really cool like canvas texture that I love, but the CG in this one is not great. The music's pretty good. It's a little too horny for me, I'll say. But it is like...
Are you going to give it a full 3?
I might. I'll give it 3. I'll give it the rule of 3. You know what? You asked me, I wasn't gonna, but you asked me, I'm gonna give it 3. I'll give it 3 episodes. But like, it's a little too horny for me. The camera is constantly falling onto her boobs, and she's lifting her skirt to tease him and whatnot. But honestly, it's pretty cute. The end of that first episode did have a really cute moment where it's like, you know, they share a moment where it's clear that they actually do feel genuine love and affection for each other, even if she is constantly teasing this dude by like flashing her panties at him. So it's pretty cute. I don't know. It's a B.
But if he touches her, she'll die.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, good.
I will say I don't love the CG in it. There are actually, I will say this right now, there's a couple shows this season that have pretty okay CG. This is not one of them, I don't think, but it's a B. It's not bad.
I mean, in a season in which Beastars returned to Netflix to us.
Ooh, baby!
Yeah. Now that's some CG.
And you know your boy already slammed through all 12 episodes of that shit.
Damn, son.
What's next, baby?
What does it say? Tsukimichi?
Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy.
Moonlit Fantasy.
Yes, Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. So
it's far away. I can't see the letters as well. So.
This is yet another bog standard isekai. Dude gets plucked off of Earth. Plucked. Straight up plucked. Well, okay, hang on. He gets plucked by the god of his world and sent over to the goddess of another world because they need heroes or something over there. And as soon as she sees him, she's like, "Oh, you're so ugly. I hate you. Oh, you're insufferable." And he's like, "Why? Dude, that's fucked up. You summoned me, basically." And she's like, "Oh, your voice is awful. I hate this. Oh, I'm gonna send you to the outskirts of my world where you will never encounter my humans. Don't you dare spread your filthy seed." And then she sloops him out of a hole in the ground, and he just falls to the earth. Yes. He is then sent to the outskirts of the world where he encounters some orcs, he learns some magic, he finds out that he is in fact super OP, and he also fights a big dragon who accepts him as the dragon's master before turning into a sexy anime lady. It's honestly, It's a pretty turn off your brain kind of comedy.
You had me at sexy anime lady.
Dragon turns into a sexy anime lady. It's turn off your brain dumb comedy kind of isekai, and I don't hate it. I think I like it a little bit better than Drugstore in Another World. Blah blah blah. The rest of that title. So put it up there in B. We'll put it in B with that one.
But you like it better.
Put it in front of it. Yeah.
There we go.
I get a little bit better. As far as the bog standard isekais go, this one's funny enough. It's pretty dumb, but it's pretty funny. All right, that's next.
Okay. Up next, let's see. Let's do the
Aquatope on White Sand is what you're looking at. Okay. This one, do you know that song Midnight Train to Georgia?
How does it go? Can you give me a snippet?
LA proved too much for the man.
Can I get the
he's
chorus?
leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. You ever heard that one? It's a great track. Anyway, this one, Tokyo proved too much for the girl, is the fact of this one. A young woman who couldn't cut it as an idol is about to buy a ticket home, and then she, after running from the big city, instead of running back home, she calls folks. They're all like, oh, hey, that sucks. Well, we're going to have a big party for you. Come on back. It's going to be great. And she's like, she doesn't want to do this job that she can't cut it at, and she also doesn't want to be pitied by her family, it seems. And so she, on impulse, buys herself a ticket to Okinawa, and she wanders around for a while. She sleeps on the beach.
I love Okinawa.
Sleeps on the beach, and she ends up at the Gamma Gamma Aquarium, where she meets another young girl, has a big aquarium hallucination where she's like, the water all comes out of the tanks and floods around her, and she like has a moment where she like staring at a big shark or a whale or something. It's really wild. And then she decides, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. And that's the show. And it has beautiful artwork, really cool music. There's a weird little dude who no one seems to notice wandering around the town eating fish heads out of the shrine. So he's some kind of ocean god or fish guardian or something. And I don't know where all that's going, but I'm in for the fucking ride. I really like this show. It's an S. It is that perfect kind of slow burn, like kind of dramatic kind of shit I love. Also has some genuinely funny moments. There's a bit where like she first gets to Okinawa and she's like hanging out with, she like gets like there's a fortune teller who's like, oh, come, I will tell your fortune. And she's like, oh, okay. And she's got her bags with her, still has the tags on the bag. And the fortune teller's like, yes, I see it in the crystal ball. You... And she like looks down, just got in from Tokyo. And she's like, how did you know that? It's like, bitch, you looked at your bags. You got the tag on them still. It's like very obvious that she's just a shyster. And the lady's like, how did someone as brilliant as you end up working here? And then it cuts to the outside, brief time jump, cuts back in. Fortune teller has her hat off. They're leaning on the table drinking. She's like, my fucking husband was such a dick, blah, blah, blah. And they're just chatting it up. And I'm like, dude, this is great. They're just making friends all of a sudden. Show's cute as fuck. I love Aquatope on White Sand.
Yeah, sounds good. That one,
really
that
fun.
one sounds interesting.
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it a lot. It might give us a little bit of the hobby show, like here's what fish do kind of shit. There's penguins.
Well, if you have you been to my living room?
Yeah, I know you love fish. You got a green weenie in there.
Yeah, I got a green weenie. I got a green mini. I got a Carol on a Tuesday.
That's what he calls all his fish. He's got names for all of them. They're very cute.
Just the bettas.
What kind of fish is the green weenie?
She's a betta.
She is a beta.
Yep.
Is it beta or beta?
Beta. I always said beta, but
it's two T's. So
I've watched so many things on aquariums to make sure that I don't kill my fish.
And now everybody's like, it's beta, beta, beta.
Yeah, that most of the fish store keepers say beta, so I'm gonna go with those guys.
Hey, baby, it can only get better.
I got all all mine are female bettas, man, and I love them all.
They're very cute.
Okay, dude, let's go to the Honor at Magic High School.
Boy. The Honor at Magic High School.
There.
So the Honor at Magic High School is a spin-off, and we don't do sequels on these tier lists. We do new shit and spin-offs. We do spin-offs. Spin-offs are fine.
Yeah.
Honor at Magic High School is a spin-off of the Irregular at Magic High School, which is a thing I have admittedly never seen. I know nothing about this series. But first episode sees a girl with these pretty cool ice powers stop a terrorist with fire powers at the mall. It moves kind of slow, but the art is decent to look at. It's a little bit of fan service if you want that, and all that good stuff. Pretty cool fight scenes and whatnot, but it gets a huge 2 thumbs down, baby, because the entire first half of this episode is that girl on a date with her older brother, who she really, really wants to fuck. Really, really wants to bone her older brother.
Is he good looking or?
I mean, they look similar. They're brother and sister, apparently.
What if you had a beautiful brother?
Look,
how would you feel if you were an Earth?
I wouldn't fuck my brother. What the hell's wrong with you?
Nothing, dude.
Like literally, like after a brief bit at the beginning where like you see her at the mall and you see shit starting to go down, there's a flashback and you see her apparently getting her magic checkup or something. She's like laying on a table with the light shining all over, and she is in her frilly little underwears and nothing else. And then she stands up and she's like talking to him, and he's not turning around from the computer, and she's like in her monologue like, oh, why won't he look at me? Why doesn't he see me as an adult? And I'm like, you want to fuck your brother? And then she tries to kiss him later. I don't know.
Is it like stepbrother, or are we talking full
That's
on
so I don't know. I mean, this is the one where like, if it feels like at some point she's gonna get stuck in the dryer is what I'm saying, and I'm not into that. Put it in F. Put it in F.
All right, put it in F.
It's an F. It's an F.
It's
Look,
an F.
if there's anyone out there who's watched regular Magic High School, this is a spin-off of that. Maybe that show's good. Maybe this one gets better. I don't want to watch a show that features incest as a plot point. Or potential incest, I'll say. God knows they probably don't actually get together. It's just a little crush, a little thing. Not like I faint every time we touch. I don't need all that.
Yeah.
I don't need all that. I just don't need no incest.
Just remember,
in my show.
man, it could be no chromo.
Jesus Christ.
Battle game in 5 seconds.
It's very funny, Roger. No chromo. I love it. Battle game in 5 seconds is a pretty standard battle anime. I say a B minus.
Battle anime?
B minus battle anime. It's like a tournament anime, but it's just like here's these characters that are gonna beat the shit out of each other. That's it. So basically, a bunch of randos get kidnapped, ghosted, and super powered up, and now they're gonna fight each other in a series of superpower games. Bit of fun mystery in the first episode where you don't know what the main dude's ability is, but like.
That sounds like a whole nother show that I've seen this season.
Yeah, there's been a couple this season, like through the past year that were like, it kind of reminds me of, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but it was the one where like the guy was playing a game app on his phone that like paired him up with randos. And I think the first guy he fought was like a dude in a panda hat who was invisible or something. I don't remember what that show was. It kind of reminds me of that one, but point is the show, it's pretty like below average, I think. And if you're gonna watch one of those, like a straight up show that's just about, it's like a, you know, what's the name of shit? Like a battle royale type, let's all fight and whatever kind of thing. You can definitely do better than this one.
Is it snoozing at the lodge?
It's pretty snoozy. I'm gonna put it in D.
Okay.
Feel free to correct me on these. Tell me to watch a few more episodes of any of them, but I'm putting that one in D. It's a snoozer. Sorry.
All right, man. I hate the name of this one. And I can't read the bottom part, but it's DSide
Trauma. Okay, DSide Trauma.
I hate that.
It's a big new multimedia project. It's a game. It's a show. There will be merch, etc., etc. So I'm gonna start my description of this one with seems like, because they don't give you a lot of detail here, but it seems like these kids who are called knocker-ups. What a weird name. They're in Shibuya. They can enter some kind of other dimension and fight monsters, but people in the real world can entreat these monsters for wishes, which then pulls the monsters into the real world. And I don't know, it was pretty confusing. Here's the thing about this one is it's all CG, and most of the CG is pretty meh. Like when they're just walking and talking and whatnot, it's not very good. The action scenes, I can't remember the last time I saw a CG anime with very, very good action scenes like this. Like, it is not Beastars. It is not, it's nothing from Studio Orange. It ain't no Land of the Lustrous. But the actiony scenes where they are fighting are decent. And they kind of kick ass. And they do this, like, they do a couple of, like, Matrix, like, spin around the fight things that, it's a CG anime. It seems like I should have seen more Matrix-style spin arounds. But I can't remember any. Do you remember watching CG anime and there being a straight up Matrix kind of thing?
The only one I can think of is like maybe Land of the Lustrous had some shots like
maybe
that.
Once or twice, yeah. But this one like makes a big point in the big fight at the end of this one of hitting one of those, and it kind of kicks ass. It's okay. You know what? It's a B.
With a name like that.
You know what? You're right. It's a C just for the name.
There we go.
There you go.
I like that. I feel better about that.
What's next? It does have a very shitty name.
The case study of Vanitas.
The case study of Vanitas, I think. Vanitas? Vanitas.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I can barely read it.
This one's pretty sweet. It's a steampunk alternate Earth where a pretty boy vampire runs afoul of a pretty boy doctor who is hunting down vampires on this big steampunk airship. We find out, however, that the vampire does not want to kill, or the doctor does not want to kill the vampires, but wants to heal them by removing this darkness, this malnomen it is called, that has infected the true name of the vampire and causes them to go crazy and run amok and whatnot. Really fucking pretty art. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna call it like the prettiest art this season, but it's fucking up there. Really pretty art. Kind of reminds me of Horimiya, but a little bit flatter.
Okay.
And like with some really like sweepy like action scenes. These really fluid, dynamic action scenes. Really killer intro and outro. I like it a lot. I like the show a lot.
It sounded pretty good.
I like it a whole lot. I'm gonna put it in A. I'm not gonna put it in S. I'm gonna put it in A. That's an A.
Are there beautiful anime girls?
There's a couple beautiful anime girls.
Oh, nice.
You love your beautiful anime girl.
Yeah.
Seriously, check out the first episode, see how you feel about it, then check out the second episode because they introduce more characters that seem pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I'm into Vanitas. I think it's a lot of fun. What's next?
All right, dude, let's do the Dungeon of Black Company.
The Dungeon of Black Company. So I don't know if you heard about this one, but apparently there's a whole thing in like the culture where these black companies or there's what they call companies in like places you work in Japan that are just like absolutely running you to death. You are going to die if you keep doing this job because it's just wearing you the fuck down. Can relate. But yeah, basically this one is a jackass dude who has mastered the art of not working. Apparently he just bought a bunch of real estate overseas and made a bunch of money off that. Just never has to work again. He's got a sweet penthouse apartment and he's like, I am the ultimate NEET. I never have to leave. I never have to work. I have nailed it, baby. I'm the best at this. Look at all these peons down here going to their daily jobs. Wahaha, I'm amazing. And then he gets slooped into an isekai world. Boom, boom, boom. Motherfucker gets absolutely just straight up isekai'd out of nowhere, just like an RKO. Portal opens up, sloop, there he goes, he's gone. And he is not OP. He is not particularly lucky. He is immediately put to work just slaving away in this mine. He does, however, if he doesn't have superpowers or an amazing skill set, he does have schemes and aspirations. And I fell asleep. I was pretty bored by this one. It's also the second show this season to feature a dragon that turns into a sexy anime lady.
Wow.
Can you believe it? Yeah, I wasn't super into this one. I'm struggling with whether to put in C or D. Was it not great or did it put me to sleep? I did literally fall asleep watching this one and then I rewatched it and it was meh.
Oh, then it's got to be Snoozing at the Lodge, right?
Yeah, it's got to be a D. It's a D. It's taking a nap. Sorry, kids. Next,
let's do Seirei. I can't read the rest of that, dude. You're gonna have to read it for me.
Seirei Gensoki Spirit Chronicles.
Okay.
Yet another pretty standard isekai.
All right.
I'll tell you this though. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about this was it starts with the scenes in the real world where this guy's like, he's like a younger kid, maybe middle school or something. He's confessing this girl he loves. He's moving away. She doesn't want him to go. Why do you have to go? And he says, I'll always protect you. I'll always take care of you. Even if I die, I'll always take care of you. And then we cut ahead. He is an adult man, at least high school, college age maybe. And he's on a bus. He is riding FalKKone. And he's sitting on FalKKone. And he sees there's a little girl sitting across from him. He's like, oh, hey. And the girl's like, hey. And then the girl falls over. What? The bus is swerving. What's happening? Oh no, the bus swerves. It's flying down the street and it gets absolutely slam-a-jammed in a legitimately jarring manner by TrainKKone. TrainKKone caught this motherfucker. That bus got hit by a train and everybody appears to have died. And that's when the little orphan boy who's living in the fantasy world wakes up and is like, oh shit, those are my memories. What the fuck? So that's it. He got isekai or whatever. It seems like, and I don't know for sure yet, but it seems like some of the other characters we saw, almost certainly the girl he confessed to is going to end up having been isekai too. She's probably in this world. Maybe that little girl and her mom that were on the bus or in the FalKKone or in the isekai world. I don't know. What I do know is that This kid wakes up, discovers he has magic at some point, stumbles upon and saves the missing princess, is arrested under suspicion of having kidnapped the princess himself, and then gets the shit kicked out of him for a while, even though he's a small boy. The guards are like, hey, fuck you, kid, tell us what you know. I don't know anything. I'll hit you. I'm gonna hit you till you tell me what you know. I don't know anything. And they just keep hitting him. It's pretty violent. Apart from that last bit, though, where you watch a kid get tortured, it's pretty wholesome apart from that, honestly. It is like very, very standard isekai shit though. So I'm gonna drop it in C.
Put it in C.
Gonna put that one in C.
It doesn't sound so bad, man.
Honestly, you could do worse, but I legitimately find the other ones we've had here, even if they're dumb as hell, a little more entertaining. This one was kind of boring, and by the end of it, it's just like, okay, cool, he got a haircut. Wow. I don't know.
I like anything where somebody gets a train ran on.
I'll watch a couple more episodes. Honestly, that's the most entertaining part, is watching that fucking bus get hit by that fucking train. Bus-kun just getting absolutely ramrolled by train-kun. Just bagoom, just smash that motherfucker. It was very violent, honestly.
All right, dude, we're doing life lessons with Urumichi Oni-chan.
Yeah, man.
Is that what that says? Did I read that right?
I gotta find it in my notes.
It's very far away.
Yes, Life's Lessons with Uramichi Onisan. So this one is about an emotionally unstable kid show host who constantly dips into bits of ennui. Basically, he'll be like, hey kids, let's do the ABC song. ABC, blah, blah, and they're like singing along and stuff. And then one of them's like, hey, Uramichi, why don't you have any kids? And he just kind of like, boom, and everything goes black behind him. He's just like, you know, the crippling weight of anxiety or some shit like that. It's just basically that for like 5 minutes. The bits where he's just talking to the kids and interacting with them get pretty old pretty fast. The bits where he is interacting with his co-stars are fucking gold. They are very, very funny. And that's like mostly the second half of this one. So I'm into this show. I think it's very fun and very good.
It does sound funny.
I'm gonna put it in A.
And I can relate.
Like, check it out, man. Very relatable, quite frankly, if you are overworked and underpaid like your good buddies are. Yeah, man, I think you'd get a kick out of this one. I think you should check it out.
All right, man.
We're down to the last two before we get to our soul reads. Go ahead.
I've been laughing at this title the whole time. Nighthead 2041.
So I'm still not 100% sure what that title means. I think it's going to be like...
Have you ever got the Nighthead before?
Hang on. Can you do me a favor and say that again?
Did you ever get that Nighthead before?
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, man. So it's the future. Religion and belief in any sort of supernatural forces is forbidden as thought crimes. That shit ain't real. We only believe in real shit, homie. And we follow a group of SWE troopers. Don't ask me what that means. I don't know. Who capture and detain such criminals as, like, there's a guy who's like some kind of cult leader that they're going after in the first half of this one. And they track him down and whatnot. But then we follow them as they track down these guys who were like shysters or whatever and doing, like, you know, the whole spiritual thing, only to run across some what appears to be some legit shit. And then we go with two mysterious brothers, these white-haired young boys who appear to have just gotten out of some kind of facility or something, and they also appear to be capable of some legit shit. Psychokinesis, perhaps, maybe a little mind reading kind of shit. Who knows? It's really weird. I don't know 100% what's going on. I think, and I don't remember if they said it or not, but I think I read somewhere that Nighthead apparently refers to the whole, like, humans only use 30% of the brain, so the rest of it, blah, 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 that's your Nighthead. I don't know. It's not about getting a blowjob after 8 p.m. is what I'm gonna say. But I don't hate this show. It's got some CG animation. It is, as one might assume, a bit stiff. But again, like our other show there, where the hell was it? Where'd it go? The other one I said was okay. It was one of those. I don't remember.
Mother of the Goddess.
No, fuck you. No, absolutely not that one. The other CG anime that I said was okay.
The Duke of Death and his maid.
No. I'm not going to remember what it was now. I forget these as soon as I read them, guys. Sorry. DSide. DSide with the horrible name. That's what it was. Like that one, the actiony bits are pretty legit okay. There's a bit in the bar where like the brothers are like dealing with some guys who are like fucking with them, and like you watch a dude throw a bottle of whiskey at this dude and he holds out his hand and just like freezes in the air broken, and it's really cool looking, like rad shit, and then he like blasts it back at him. Kind of kicks ass. The actiony bits are cool. The rest of his CG is not amazing, but it's okay. Honestly, it's not bad. I'm putting it in B.
Putting it in B.
It's a B.
B goes.
All right, and last one before we get to the soul reads. Go ahead, man.
Sunny Boy.
You know where that's going. This is the one you watched. You know where that shit's going. It's the tippity top right now. Sunny Boy absolutely kicks ass.
Yeah, it's very good.
Everyone should watch Sunny Boy, and I think it's really good if you can go in knowing as little as possible, but I'll give you 5 seconds before I start talking about it. 5, 4, 3, 2,
4, 3,
1.
2, 1.
Okay. Basically, a school and a bunch of kids in that school have somehow dropped into this weird black void that must be really easy to draw. And some of them have developed superpowers, some have not. And I don't really want to say any more. That's as much as I'm willing to give you without spoiling anything else. Just watch this show. It's got this really rad old school art style. You said kind of reminds you of Satoshi Kon's work.
Yep.
What with the art and a little bit of the story. It's very mind bendy. You're not sure what's going on.
It does a great, like, you know, like the blobby characters, stuff like that.
Very flat.
The animation is very interesting.
Yeah, very flat artwork, but
not to mention those black backgrounds, those simple black backgrounds. It makes everything pop.
It's so stark. It's so stark and jarring. It like makes you look at it.
Yeah,
it's
it
really
looks like it's a
fascinating.
dream sequence or Neon Genesis or something.
Yeah, and
it's fucking awesome.
That first episode is absolutely killer. Very authentic looking old school animation, some real twists in the characters in just that first episode. I don't know how, like, I really feel like I got a good feel for a bunch of these characters in one episode, and I'm not sure how they did that in one fucking episode.
Yeah.
It absolutely whips ass. But yeah, this is I think
it's
the
done
one
by Madhouse too. So.
Yeah. This is the one that I think folks are going to be like talking about and analyzing for like months after it's over. Like what meant what and how did that happen and what was what.
Yeah, very, very Satoshi Kon. Very, even like there's some Fooly Cooly vibes going on.
A little bit. This show kicks ass. Everyone should watch Sunny Boy. If you listen to nothing else I've said today, please watch Sunny Boy. If you hate everything I've said, if you think Mother of the Goddess Dormitory is the best show ever and I am a piece of shit, fucking chode,
I find it hard to believe that you would think it's better than Sunny Boy.
If you think I'm a goddamn soy boy piece of shit, that's fine. Watch Sunny Boy.
Soy boy beta cuck, dude.
I'm a soy boy beta cuck. That's fine. Watch Sunny Boy. Live your life. But watch Sunny Boy. Sunny Boy kicks ass. All right. These last 4 have not aired yet for a number of reasons.
I also do want to mention, you should, at the very least, if you don't watch it, you should go listen to the song that they played in it, which I believe is going to be the OP.
Oh, yeah.
The opening song.
Kicks ass.
Fucking good.
I'm legit going to go home and watch it again because I just want to watch it again.
Yeah, it's so good.
Badass. These last 4 have not aired yet for a number of reasons. Either we don't know when they're coming this season, but we know it's supposed to be this season, or there's like 2 here. One's coming next week and one's coming like a week after that or a week and a half after that. It's going to be a while before we get some of these, point is. And we're just going to soul read these. So this is going to be my opinions based on nothing except for the posters and what images I can get when I Google the names of these, and if any of them had any description on Wikipedia, I might have glanced over that. So here we go. First up,
Itaden Diaries, no only peace.
Itaden Deities.
Deities, sorry.
It also, there was another name. It was like
I've read Deities this whole time. I don't know why I said Diaries.
Yeah. It also, so that's the name of the manga apparently, and then also the show might be Itaden Deities in the Peaceful Generation. I've seen like 3 different names for this one. We're not going to know until the thing airs.
Well, I'm guessing this one's an Isekai.
I don't know, because this is the one I had the least
reading, dude.
This is the one I had the least amount of information for. That's your soul read. I think it's going to be kind of like that what was that fucking, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but that weird pretty boy anime where like it was all the gods and like, oh, we're not fighting anymore, we're just chilling out. I think it's going to be like that.
Oh yeah. You like that one too.
I remember liking the first few episodes just because it was so weird. Yeah. But this one, I don't know what it's going to be like. It looks like, this is the one I have the least amount of information for. It looks interesting. I think it's going to be a B.
You think, oh, wow.
What, you think it's going to be an A?
No, dude, I think it's going to be a D.
You think it's going to be bad? I think it could be good.
Okay. We'll
split the diff. Put in C. Split the diff.
It's going to C.
The Great Jahi will not be defeated. This one, what little I know about it is that if you look up the images, there's what appears to be a dark-skinned, purple-haired girl who looks quite young wearing a t-shirt. And then it appears to be the same girl, but she's more adult-looking, and she's wearing like a sexy, strappy leather thing. And here he goes. It appears to be like the Great Jahi, from what little I could glean, is like some kind of demon who gets like sent to the real world, and she's got to live as like a normal human or something. And it's like her trying to be the badass demon she is, but getting her ass kicked. It kind of sounds like that, what was that show with the demon? I can't remember. I'm not going to get the name of it. But it was like a demon girl, a girl who like has demon powers and has to fight the magical girl or something, but then they end up being friends or something. It could be good.
Was it the one where it was pretty much her meeting demons at her house or whatever, and there was like a little I remember the door stopper.
Yeah, the door stopper thing. That would look like a weird demon dildo thing. Yeah. That show. I don't remember the name of it. It's like the demon girl next door. That was it. I think it was the demon girl, the devil girl next door. It kind of sounds like that, but like goofier and maybe a little, well, I don't know if it could be goofier than that, but maybe a little more, it might be more horny. I don't know.
I'm comfortable with it being an A.
Okay, it can be an A.
Okay. Now this one has the best name of them, I think. Megaton Musashi.
Yeah, so this one is a tie-in, I think, for a Nintendo game. And
okay, I like that. I like Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about it except
like the
it appears to be like big fighting robots, and I don't know anything else. But like, yeah, I know literally nothing about this one.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
It's an F.
It's an F. It's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash. You're just gonna say that one's trash. Reading it for trash.
I'm gonna put in the trash for them announcing the Switch OLED.
Okay.
That's not any more powerful.
Oh, you gonna cry about it?
I mean, it is $50 more, kind of a piece of junk.
Well, you ain't gotta buy the bitch.
I know. But I mean, I would love to have a Switch that my girlfriend could play Breath of the Wild on, and it runs at proper frame rate the whole time.
All right, one more. Fina Pirate Princess. This one appears to be the story of a girl. I think she's like an orphan or something, and she's like in some kind of situation where she has no freedom and she's stuck, and she like breaks out and whatnot, and she's a pirate princess, so apparently she like, you know, hangs out with pirates and stuff and maybe becomes their leader or something. I don't know.
If this was called Melfina Pirate Princess,
Jesus Christ,
and it was tie-in to Outlaw Star,
Jesus
it'd
Christ,
begin an S.
All right. I will say, oh, nice one. You dropped it in F accidentally. No, there it is. So I'm not sure what this one's gonna be like. I will say it is one of those Crunchyroll originals, and those so far
hit and miss.
They've been hit and miss. They've been either like really badass or kind of shitty. I based purely on the description and the art for this one, I think it looks pretty sweet. So I'll just drop it in S. Fuck you. Yeah, put it in S.
In an S?
Pretend it's Melfina. Yeah.
Which of those Crunchyroll originals have been an S thus far?
This one just looks really good to me.
Okay.
You didn't finish Tower
of God.
Tower of God was pretty decent.
Yeah. Okay.
Tower of God was pretty decent.
But then there was the Vampire Boy one, which you absolutely hated.
I didn't much care for that.
And then there was, and I thought that one was pretty funny.
The first half of God of High School was really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
And the second half kind of shit the bed. It didn't like pull a full-on Wonder Egg, but it did shit the bed.
Yeah.
It didn't shit the bed, tub, and toilet like Wonder Egg did, but it did shit the bed.
That's weird thinking about that. Wonder Egg ended up being kind of worse than God of High School.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't finish God of High School. I got partway into that second half, and I was like, I'm kidding.
I watched it.
Didn't care for it.
All right, so that's what it is.
That's our list, baby. So to recap, my opinion, obviously, I think you should check out.
Not a whole lot of Fs.
Not a whole lot of Fs.
Actually, only 2, because that one isn't out yet.
Yeah. So I think for sure Sunny Boy is probably my numberest oneist, my tippity toppiest.
Tippity top right here, baby.
Remain is really fucking good. Real good hooks on that show. I talk about a show having hooks. That show's got real fucking good hooks. This motherfucker don't remember nothing. Oh, it's good.
Treble hooks?
Yeah, man, all the hooks.
Okay.
Fish hooks.
Both of those were fish hooks, yes.
Yeah, man. Anyway, Aquato on White Sand is very much my shit. You know I love me like a slow burn drama with potential like love story. You know, I love that shit.
You do.
Girlfriend. I'm as shocked as anyone that I love it. Kageki Shoujo absolutely kicks ass. It's very funny. Case study of Vanitas that whips ass. Life lessons with Uramachi Onisan. Again, got a little bit old in the first half, but the bits where he's interacting with his coworkers are absolutely hilarious. They're some of the funniest shit I've watched this season. And those are the ones we know for sure that are out that are going to kick ass, and I like them a lot. Now, of course, subject to change. All of this, you know, I could get 3 episodes in on any of these and suddenly decide, nope, I hate it. Lord knows it's happened before. And by all means, let us know in the comments, wherever you are, how wrong I am about all of these. Listen,
damn right.
We said last time we did this, I had Vivi in like a C, I think, and folks were like, yo, fuck you, Vivi kicks ass. And I went back and watched more Vivi, and you know what? Y'all were right. Vivi kicked ass. So feel free to correct our dumbasses. My dumbass specifically. Roger had very little to do with these placements. But by all means, tell me how wrong I am. I would love to hear it, and I would love to be proven wrong because Lord knows I want to watch more good shows. So if it turns out Scarlet Nexus kicks ass or Remake Our Life is in fact the best show of the season, tell me about it. I will watch more, and we will see.
What if Mother of the Goddess Dormitory?
Probably won't watch any more of that because I don't want to see a 12-year-old either actually or almost fuck. That's gross. You know what they say, Roger. The kids these days are getting luckier and luckier.
That's what they say.
You sack
Wise
of shit.
man once said.
You sack of shit. Anyway, by all means, leave us some comments. There's a number of ways to do that. The easiest one is, of course, on the YouTube page, Rapid Kick Media. Leave us a comment there. Like and subscribe while you're at it. Click that bell so we can send you notifications. We'd love to hear from you guys. Anywhere you see the name The Good Buddies, you can leave us a comment. That includes our the actual podcast, which is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all the stuff. It's everywhere. Podbean and whatnot. It's all there. We also have several other places you can hit us up and follow along with us. We do have the Discord channel. That's probably where we're most active outside of YouTube. Yeah, man.
If you want to, you can do what you want to do. I barely said anything in this whole last episode.
You want to tell everybody why you're so sleepy?
I'm so sleepy.
Go ahead and tell us about it, because I cut you off. I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. You poured cold water all over me.
Well, bitch, you had it coming.
I sure did.
You poured water all over.
I rolled with it right away.
You over here.
I wasn't very upset.
Look, I'm not trying to be.
I wasn't upset at all.
I'm just saying, man, people, you know, they click this seeing, oh, they're doing an anime tier list, and then just kind of gave
I'm
the
just
blue
trying
balls.
to tell the good buddies that came in.
Well, tell them, baby.
You know, fuck the rest of these people.
Tell 'em,
Actually,
baby.
I like you all. You're my good buddies.
You're all our good buddies. Tell them.
It's just a whole lot of more hours.
My boy's been working.
I've been
so
working
hard.
6 days a week. So in that 7th day that I'm off, that's when I get to edit everything and all the thumbnails and get that shit all up.
When's the last time y'all actually recorded for the Let's Play?
Monday.
It's been a while. Oh, you've recorded on Monday?
Yeah, Corey started at a new sector of the Raccoon City Police Department.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
His days got shifted. Normally we record on Thursdays. No more. We record on Mondays now.
Oh, boy.
In which I work and then I come and record. But hopefully within the month or so, I will not have to work on Monday anymore.
All right, man.
Because the store is not open that day. But man, I have a whole lot of shit that I'm learning that I have to do. All sorts of different orderings.
It's so rough on the boy.
Packing, bringing packages, unloading all of it, checking all of it in, pricing all of it out, putting it all out on the floor.
Our boy sat down 2 days ago on Wednesday, said, I'm going to do something for me. I'm going to sit down and watch me some of this AEW wrestling.
Yep.
Show that he enjoys.
My head hurts a little bit. I'm going to lay down on the couch and watch this AEW wrestling.
And he got about an hour in.
Yep. And then I fell asleep
about
for
8
12
o'clock.
hours.
Went from sleep at 8, woke up at 8. Damn, boy.
I did wake up at 1 and move to the bed.
My boy, you went into hibernation. You formed your own little, like, regeneration pod and just had to, like, experience.
Yeah.
I just want to take all the good buddies real quick, if you don't mind, Roger, and do a little guided meditation. I want all of you to just do me a favor. Close your eyes. Take your hands off the steering wheel. Don't really. You're driving if you're listening to this. Don't really. But just kind of think about it and just imagine a tall, handsome, bearded man with long hair and big glasses. I want you to lift your hands up.
Tall glass of water, huh?
Real tall glass of water. His name is Roger, and his name is your good buddy Roger. And I want you to just lift up your hands and Goku style, send him some of that energy so he can absorb that spirit bomb and do the dragon punch so he can punch through this workday.
I need it, at least needed to get to the point where I'm used to this level of workload.
Oh, my baby boy, my beautiful baby boy. Well, thank you all for chilling with us. Thank you so much.